Here at WGBY, we've been talking about the challenges and triumphs military vets face when they come home. Now, finding a job that uses the military experience can be part of that struggle. Well, one local town, Chicopee, has hired 6 veterans for their police force, and I'm joined by their police chief, Thomas Charette, and Kimberly Babin, director of their Department for Veteran Services. Thank you both so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
This afternoon. Chief, we'll start with you. Let's start from the very beginning, the civil service test that is taken. Explain that process.
Okay. Well, for police hiring and a civil service department, anyone applying has to take and complete a civil service test, and they have to pass it with a minimum score of 70. As far as veterans are concerned, civil service law in Massachusetts passed a law where veterans are placed at the top of a civil service list. So they're given an advantage that helps get them at least into the interview room.
Now, this isn't the first thing that Mass has done to help veterans. Massachusetts is one of the states, probably the best state in the country in helping veterans.
Exactly. The state of Massachusetts has a program called Chapter 115. It's financial assistance to help veterans in need. It's a transitional assistance. If you're out of a job, come back from a deployment, for whatever reason coming out of school, and it'll give you transitional assistance until that time you can secure a job. We are #1 in the nation. We're the only state in the nation that actually has Chapter 115, so we're very excited about that. In the state of Massachusetts, we have 244 VSOs, is what we are, Veteran Service Officers to help aid veterans.
And if it's any town that's over 14,000, is it?
Any city or town over 12,000 has a VSO, yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's why Chicopee has one, and many of the surrounding towns as well. So this is a good thing that the help is there for veterans if they need any help doing a variety of things. I know we're talking about employment today, but your office offers anything out there.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, talking about the civil service test, you kind of gave an example. I know we were talking about this a little bit off camera. Let's say you and I were to take the test, and I'm a veteran, but you're not. Even if your score may be higher as a veteran, I still get put to the top of the list.
Correct. As long as you have the minimum passing score, which is a 70. Okay. If you as a non-veteran had a 90, and I as a veteran had an 85, I would be placed in a group above you along with all other veterans who achieved a minimum passing score of 70. And then those veterans are ranked by their score. So a veteran with a 95 would be ahead of a veteran with a 90 and all the way down the list.
Now, these 6 veterans, they were all at the top of the list, not only just being veterans, but also their score in and of themselves. Now, out of the 6, the 1 actually had to go away on deployment, but was able to come back. So it seems as if there's some flexibility allowed in the fact that these veterans, even if some are actively serving, it's not a negative. I know some employers would look at a veteran saying, oh no, you have the possibility of being deployed. We're staying away from that.
Right. Well, again, civil service law protects a lot of that. That particular gentleman was hired, and then unbeknownst to him, he was deployed overseas. We pretty much have to hold that position for him. So we held it until he returned.
Now we're going to come back to you and talk to you about what are the different attributes that are similar, that draws from military experience and how it can translate to real life. We're joining the police academy, but first, Kimberly, we're going to talk to you. What are different events throughout the year? What are different events that are given to veterans to help them as they look for jobs?
The city of Chicopee has an annual Employee Wisdom Hire a Veteran job fair. It's usually done on or about November, around Veterans Day. And we usually get a lot of the community support. We have ESGR, which is Employer Supportive for the Guard and Reserve, and we also have the Chicopee Chamber of Commerce. So together, we work collaboratively to ensure that we can get some of the local businesses to come together. One of the big draw is the Department of Defense has a Hero to Hire van that they come, and basically you were just mentioning to the chief about transitioning your military job into a civilian job. Heroes to Hire bus is there on site, and basically what it does is, for me, I just retired military. I was a first sergeant, so I would go in there and put my AFSC or MOS into the computer database, and it basically will tell you on the civilian side, this is your options, which would be human resources, which was unbeknownst to me as well. So that helps a lot, especially for people. We get a lot of people calling our office that are retiring soon. In 4 or 5 months, I'm coming back home of record, and I'm retiring, and they're looking for those types of jobs. So we've found that it's very, very beneficial to the city of Chicopee, one, to hire veterans. We're a Westover community. It's in our community, and we're supporting our community with the people that actually work there.
Now that can be a very big obstacle when veterans come over, because it's not like, companies are looking for somebody to, pick up a gun and, go fight a war. But there are certain attributes that you had mentioned that make that veteran an ideal candidate for a police force. What are some things?
Sure. Well, some of the things that veterans deal with when they're in the service, and some of the attributes they have, they learn discipline, they learn loyalty, they learn confidence in their own abilities, they learn to be a team player. That's all part of what gets taught in the military, and it transitions very well into the police organizations. Police organization in and of itself is a paramilitary group. We run by a certain set of standards and codes, just like the military does. So a lot of that transmits right over into our profession, as well as the fact that they obviously have to be physically fit. They all have some sort of training in weaponry and in fighting skills and abilities. So all of it translates well into police service.
What would you say is the biggest struggle that a veteran faces when it comes to employment? Would you say the resume writing one is the one, finding a job that can bring them that same type of level of, not happiness, but almost satisfaction? Because I've heard from some veterans when they're overseas and they're fighting in the military, it's like they feel as if they're making a difference. And sometimes when they come back to the States, some of the jobs just don't bring that same level of either excitement or aptitude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, you get it on both sides. A lot of people go into the military. Remember, we're Guard and Reserve in this state, so we don't see a lot of the active duty unless they're coming back home. So a lot of the people want their military side to be separate than their civilian side. So I see both sides. And you're right on the military side, but I think honestly, with the education that you receive in the military, that prepares you, I think, it's sometimes better than sometimes a civilian education, because like he was talking about, you're going to get the drive, you're going to get the dedication, you're going to do the core values that are instilled in us for years and years being in the military, kind of rolls over into your civilian job. So those people that go through the military into the training that they do, I find that they're better prepared, and I can see that with the military. I mean, they go through the same training, if not more.
Which makes them perfect candidates, it seems, for the police force as well. Well, thank you so much, Chief Charette and Kimberly Babin. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Thanks for having us.